However, there was one poor elf who was trembling in fear as he and the others were finished off by the ants from the portal. After a little while, two kind elven archers came to see what was going on and saw the terrible scene. Fortunately, there was one person who could still speak, so they approached him. He was so weak from all the pain that he could only manage to say that there was a swarm of monsters before finally falling asleep for good. The cat-masked elf was really sad to hear this, but he knew that now he had to report everything to the village chief. Meanwhile, in Veru village, our lovely protagonist and Christina were training the children, which was noticed by the sweet little blonde girl who was worried that Dolan would go to the Magic Academy and leave her behind. However, she didn't realize that the children were just playing with her tail, so she got a little upset and chased after them, even though she knew it was just a game to them. Our lovely protagonist is overjoyed to see Selena becoming more integrated in the village and hopes that it will continue. Then, the sweet albino girl approaches her and asks for help. She wants to explore the forest because she heard that there are many wild beasts there and wants to test her strength against them with a confident attitude. However, our kind protagonist warns her that the forest is dangerous and not worth entering without a serious reason. He then explained a good reason. Albert couldn't take the pigs to graze because the forest had their favorite acorns. Dolan understood and asked if she wanted to protect the pigs while they grazed. Selena said yes, emphasizing that helping a villager was reason enough for her to go into the forest. Seeing this, Dolan smiled at Selena's enthusiasm and agreed, though they would be accompanied by two soldiers. Christina seemed really happy that the forest air felt so fresh, and Selena was happy to agree with her. While the little pigs are grazing, the soldiers tell our protagonists that they'll check the other side of the forest. However, one warrior saw a little pig get lost. While following it, he saw that the poor pig was injured and thrown into the air by a spiked tiger. The terrified warrior was almost attacked by the monster, but thankfully, the kind bald ballons saved him. But then, our hero was attacked from behind by a demonic ant. It let out a loud scream until our protagonist heard it. Dolan, recognizing the demon as a low-ranking scout, is shocked, and Christina, who asks where he knows it from, replies that she read it in a book at Maku's house. She kindly warns Christina to back off while she holds the ant back so Christina can finish it off. Christina attacks, and with her help, they manage to split the ant in half. Although she hesitated when she saw it disappear, Dolan asks her not to tell the villagers about the demons. Christina is surprised but agrees. Everyone was really worried about the spiny tigers. It was so unusual to see them there. Even the village elder mentioned that he'd never seen such a monster in his entire life. At the same time, Muru's grandmother, who had been tending to Balan's wound, informed them that the wound was not caused by the tiger, but by something much more powerful. Dolan interrupted to ask her teacher if there was anything unusual happening in the forest. She was eager to investigate immediately, but her teacher stopped her, emphasizing that as villagers, they must learn to live in harmony with nature. Dolan saw things differently. She felt that humans often challenge nature, and she wanted to investigate this time. The elders were happy for her to go, but only if she brought someone with her. Christina was quick to volunteer, but the village chief had other ideas. Selena offered to guard Dolan, pointing out her keen eyesight and magical powers. Grandmother Muru was happy for Selena to help. As a kind gesture, Dolan told Christina that Vaughn was her village. So Dolan decided to tackle the village's problems on her own. The albino girl was a little annoyed at first, but she understood and accepted his decision. Village Chief Veru then asked Dolan and Selena to make sure they were safe, which they did. As they walked, Dolan mentioned to the blonde that it had been a while since they'd been alone together. She acknowledged this, though she blushed slightly. She told herself not to get distracted just because they were alone. She tried to stay focused and was determined to prove that she could be useful in battle. She promised not to be a burden, which pleased Dolan even though he already admired her determination. Hearing this, she joked that she forgot to apply it to Dolan, which made him laugh and ask her not to be so fierce. They stopped when they heard a strange noise from the bushes. To their surprise, the albino girl emerged, acting as if she knew nothing and greeting them as if it was a beautiful day for a walk. She kept up the pretense by saying she'd just decided to take a walk in the forest. Neither Selena nor Dolan believed her, but after a few minutes, they all got into a battle against a group of spiders. They managed to defeat a few, but more appeared. While they were fighting, Christina suddenly remembered how they had found her earlier. Dolan had asked if the village elders had asked her not to leave the village, thinking that Christina respected their decision. Christina was quite the rebel, but in a good way. She said that, as Dolan had said, the villagers solved their own problems, and since Vaughn was a village she cared deeply about, it was only natural that she wanted to help its residents, which Dolan understood. Later, he asked Selena, who expressed similar feelings. Dolan agreed with Christina that they could say that they were heading in the same direction and nothing more, a suggestion that pleased Christina as they understood each other very well. Back to the battle, as Dolan cuts the spider, she thinks about how, as time goes by, it's only natural to want to have more loved people and places in your life. She also realizes that she is starting to become more human as she finishes off the last spider. Meanwhile, Alina is surprised to see a large horned monster appear, but the monster is easily tamed by the lovely Lamia with just an apple she picks up from the ground. Alina asked the group if Lamia was always like that, but as she saw her surrounded by several monsters, she wondered what was really going on. Dolan was at a loss for words. He thought the Lamia liked him, but he wasn't sure why. They all started having a picnic together. Christina then took the opportunity to ask Selena if she wasn't afraid of monsters. The blonde Selena points out that Lamias are monsters too, which makes Alina feel a little guilty and admit that she's over it. Hearing this, Selena is thrilled, wishing the whole world would be like her. Our kind protagonist hears this and realizes that Selena is right. The sweet Lamia convinces Christina to give an apple to one of the little monsters, which Alina can easily pet. Upon seeing this, Selena thinks that perhaps the monsters attacked them for not finding food, which surprises our protagonist. She wonders if someone drove them out of her territory. She also considers that something similar might have happened to the giant spiders. Dolan offers Alina some delicious bread with bacon, which she takes with a smile. She knows she can't ignore what's going on, but she's also enjoying the tasty treat. Dolan explains that his father taught him how to dry and preserve meat, while his mother taught him how to bake with the village grain. Alina is amazed by his knowledge and is speechless. Alina then mentioned that the longer she looked at the little monsters, the more adorable they looked. At the same time, the blonde commented on how beautiful Christina looks while eating. Dolan concurred and even gave a big compliment, saying that Christina looked as if she came out of an exquisite ancient painting, making the albino Mina actually blush. After a few seconds, she reacted and asked them to stop teasing. The blonde then asked Christina to share the secret of her enchantment, hoping that it could help her improve her own enchantment spell. Oh, bless her heart, their blushing friend doesn't know what to say. Just then, our dark-haired character interrupts, telling Selena that she is already perfect just the way she is. This makes the Lamia very nervous, wondering if he is implying that she is already alluring or, more importantly, if he wants to marry her. Nervously, she wasn't sure how to respond to this sudden proposal. Yes, Armina was romantic, but she was also highly schizophrenic, bless her heart. At the same time, Dolan sensed something and saw a small ball fly past them, hit a tree, and fall to the ground. They all realized that it was a fairy warning them to run. And sure enough, a demon ant appeared, which our heroes sometimes refer to as CT. As they were distracted, Christina cut the ant in half, but unfortunately more appeared chasing after them. Dolan kindly asked Selena to move the little monsters that were eating with them to a safe place away from danger. Once they were done, Dolan used her magic to take out several at once, while Christina stabbed one of them. When our hero realized one was hiding, the others came up from behind and attacked him together, keeping his hands busy. While apologizing to his parents for giving him this body, he changed his left hand from a human hand to a dragon hand and smashed the ant's head on it, while stabbing the others. Meanwhile, Christina was finishing off another ant when she was suddenly attacked from behind. Luckily, our beloved Lamia came to her rescue. A few minutes later, they sat the fairy down and asked if she was okay. The little green-haired fairy thanked them for saving her, and they introduced themselves. The fairy's name was Merle, and she told them that a demon warrior had suddenly appeared out of nowhere and started chasing her. Hearing this, our heroes understood that there must be more powerful demons coming, and these warriors are just explorers. Merle warned them that they were in serious trouble. Dolan and Christina realized that they were surrounded, but they felt no hostility. Alina lowered her sword, as did Dolan, as the forest elves finally appeared, including one wearing a cat mask who told Merle to stay away from them and come with him, making Dolan a little wary.